Hey folks, welcome to Fresh Produce. I'm Pete from BTI. Today we've got a special guest, Thomas from Squirt Lube, here to talk us through a little bit of the product line and to answer a few questions too.
Yeah,
welcome.
Great. Well, thank you very much. It's exciting. It's great to be here. I love Santa Fe. Love coming here anytime I can. So, fantastic riding.
Cool. Glad you liked it. Yeah, Thomas was here for the Santa Fe Century and the gravel ride associated with it. So that's a pretty cool event that just happened this last weekend. But I think let's dive right in and talk about the product a little bit. This stuff is pretty unique on the market from my understanding.
Yeah, it is. So we are, it's kind of funny. So most people are familiar, probably certainly your viewers are familiar with people who cook their chains in wax.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a great way to coat it. You know, wax has been proven to be the best lubricant for a pin and plate mechanism, which is the chain.
The chain is, yeah.
And wax isn't good for anything else on the bike. I mean, nothing else on the bike, and maybe polishing the finish or something, but nothing else on the bike. But for a chain, it is the best lubricant. And so you could cook the chain. In fact, people who actually cook the chain will use our chain lube because afterwards, to just add more life to it before they have to cook it again. Because we are just wax suspended in water. That's really our secret sauce, is that we've suspended 3 types of waxes to give it the best possible lubrication for the chain. And because it's wax, it stays dry.
Yeah.
So dusty conditions, nothing sticks on it. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about like wet conditions or rain, you know, what do they used to make raincoats out of? They took canvas and they covered them with wax.
Canvas, right? So wax already beads the water off.
Right, exactly.
So, just brings me to the other really interesting aspect. It's suspended in water.
Right.
So that seems pretty tough to do, first of all.
That is, like I said, it's the secret sauce.
Yeah, right.
Because like other people, and you know, not to badmouth other products, but there are other products out there that claim to have wax, and they're usually wax with other things so that they can suspend the wax.
Right. Exactly.
Like you have to shake it up or whatever. And with this, you can see, I mean, it's just wax. It's just water and wax, nothing else.
And you didn't have to shake it either, so it doesn't separate.
It doesn't
separate.
On the
shelf.
Yeah.
I think that even for an aspect for a bike shop, you know, it looks nice on the shelf. The fact that it doesn't separate it, it's ready to go right away. So being that, I mean, it is a unique proposition to put water on your chain. How long does that take to dry? And that's the goal, right?
Well, of course, yeah. Of course, it is actually dependent on, your humidity.
Absolutely.
So here in Santa Fe, it's probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, right. Right before your ride, you're ready to go.
Yeah, but we always recommend that you would actually wax it, you actually reapply at the end of a ride. So Shimano did a test on this. This is actually probably 6 years ago or so. They did a test on this, and they went into this and they said, look, we don't believe in wax, but we'll go ahead and test it on our testers, road and mountain bike. And the procedure that we do is at the end of every ride, they strip the chain and reapply their lube. And I said, well, our procedure is you strip the chain completely at the beginning, you apply 2 coats, and then at the end of 60 to 80 miles of riding, you reapply it, but you never clean the chain. Mm-hmm. We don't want you to clean. You can clean the bike and everything, and you know, if it gets, you know, washes off some other stuff, great, but don't clean the chain. And so they said, well, it's going to take a month and a half. That's how long it takes for them to actually wear a chain out.
Yeah.
Month and a half goes by. I call them up. Oh, we're still testing. 2 months go by. We're still testing. 3 months go by, and I get a text message, doubled the chain life.
Wow.
On their 12 speeds, or they said nearly doubles the chain life. But they were so impressed, they wanted 2 cases.
Wow.
So, I mean, that just really goes to how when you have a clean chain, it lasts much longer. And you know, if you had an oily chain or something that attracts dirt when you go out and ride, you know, if you go out and ride for 60 miles, I mean, that's all that grit is just wrecking the chain.
Right, it's just grinding every little rotation in there. It's grinding away surfaces. So definitely makes a lot of sense that the clean chain lasts longer too.
Right.
I think that's a really important point that maybe isn't talked about often enough with lube. Is it's not just a performance product or a sound, you know, quieting your chain. It's really prolonging the life.
Prolonging the life, absolutely.
So you've invested in a good drivetrain, a good chain. Protect that.
Drivetrains are expensive.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it was actually easy for Shimano and some other companies who are actually supplying chains to riders. If they didn't have a lube sponsor, they literally call us up. Hey, can you supply so-and-so with lube? Because they don't want to be replacing chains that often.
Yeah,
so
that does make sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So speaking of kind of the unique aspects of Squirt, let's also talk about some of the side versions of this. You've got e-bike lube and also a cold weather lube, right?
Correct. Yes. So the cold weather version is for literally below freezing conditions. And again, you would apply it, like I said, the night before you ride. Right. So it's not when it's super cold out. But you'd apply it, and then it's just a lighter weight version. Mm-hmm. And then the e-bike version is a slightly heavier weight version, and it has some unique features to it that it actually adheres slightly more to the chain, so that the torsion that's generated by the motor is actually, I mean, the formulation is so because of the torsion with the motor, so it's a slightly thicker, and of course it's a little less efficient, but you're on an e-bike, so.
Exactly. That's not really part of the equation.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool options. I think you've kind of hit a lot of different riders out there with the 3 different versions and some really unique pieces.
Yeah.
So thanks for talking us through it. It's kind of simple as you think that just a bottle of lube, but it seems like there's tons that go into it. And I think would be worth everyone to try it out as well.
Absolutely. There's a lot of science. We're really excited about selling it through BTI.
Cool. We love having you on the shelf, and thanks so much for your visit.
Great, thank you.
If you want to try out some Squirt on your own bike, make sure you ask at your local bike shop and tell them BTI sent you.